Well, Aaron Sorkin does it once again with the sequel to The Social Network, The Social Reckoning. All right, what's up, everybody? So this is my reaction to the teaser trailer for The Social Reckoning that just dropped a few hours ago. It's a sequel to The Social Network, and I always wondered how exactly that was going to go. And initially, it was reported to be a movie about Facebook and its effect, how it affected the January 6th riots after Joe Biden became president. And I thought it was an interesting take on it because at that point we'd all been hearing rumblings about, how chaotic and confusing the algorithm is when it comes to bots and fake accounts and all this jazz. So I'm like, how is Aaron Sorkin going to make sense of all of this? But when you think about the teaser trailer, if you haven't watched it, it looks more of like a political thriller than anything else. It gave me a lot of All the President's Men vibes. And for those of you who don't know All the President's Men, it's a movie from the 70s with Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford, where they play the journalist Woodward Bernstein, who investigated Watergate scandal, which eventually brought down Richard Nixon as president. And so there's a lot of suspense, there's a lot of political intrigue, there's maybe life-threatening instances going on. And it seems like that is happening because as you see in the teaser trailer, Mikey Madsen, Oscar-winning Mikey Madsen, looks to be playing a Facebook insider employee that knows about the ins and outs of what is happening in the company of Facebook and how it's negatively affecting society at large. And Jeremy Allen White plays the journalist who is interviewing her, and she is his source. And then he, from there, goes on to interview other people and continue investigating for this story. And of course, you have Jeremy Strong as Mark Zuckerberg, and I was very, very hesitant about this casting, not because Jeremy Strong isn't great, but because it's you still have Jesse Eisenberg out there. Why not just bring him back and play this new version of Mark Zuckerberg? Because even in the trailer, Jeremy Strong playing Mark Zuckerberg says, I'm not 2 years out of a college dorm room. So there has been a evolution and a growth of him from this college kid who spitefully created this platform and now is the CEO and is, leading this behemoth of a company. But Jeremy Strong brings it. He's got the body language, he's got the voice, he's got the intonation, and of course he has the Sorkinese down packed. Aaron Sorkin is famous for how his dialogue is delivered. It has a very specific rhythm and timbre. And not everyone can do it. And even the people that have done it talk about, how challenging it is at first because it's not like you can just improvise. It's very like Shakespearean. You have to say every word, a certain way, and there's no ad-libbing. The other part that really surprised me, because I didn't hear about this at all, was Bill Burr is in the movie. And for those of you who don't know Bill Burr, very, very successful and hilarious stand-up comic. And he's been dabbling in acting, but I just didn't think this would be up his alley, I didn't know he had the chops to actually do this kind of role. The last time I felt this way was when Seth Rogen did Steve Jobs, another Aaron Sorkin script. And he was incredible, absolutely incredible. It's like, before then you just knew him as, the funny dude from Pineapple Express, 40-Year-Old Virgin, and Knocked Up. And now he's playing Steve Wozniak opposite Michael Fassbender as Steve Jobs and just doing a masterful job, in every scene that he's in. And Bill Burr looks to have that presence, that gravitas, and also just the believability and credibility to pull off the role that he is playing, like some kind of media consultant advisor that is helping Mark Zuckerberg prepare for a congressional deposition. And it has all the great ingredients. I want to say shout out to Mikey Madsen. This is her first movie after Anora, so you're It looks like she's making the right decisions from a career standpoint. And, every time there's an Aaron Sorkin movie, everyone is basically perfectly placed. And that's what I really enjoy. The other part of the trailer that I thought was really great is at the very, very end, to kind of cap it all off, they bring back the musical score from The Social Network, which was composed by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. So I'm really looking forward to it. I want to see what the next full trailer is going to look like whenever that drops. And already, even before the teaser trailer came out, when the news dropped that this movie was being made, I already was going to get a ticket and be there on day one. Anyways, those are my thoughts. What about you guys? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.